Contestant number 4, Tricia Ramroop. Tricia's speech is entitled, My Passion and Imagination of First Love. Again, My Passion and Imagination of First Love. Tricia Ramroop.
Do you remember the day you saw your first love? I remember the day I set eyes on my first love. Good evening, contest chair, esteemed judges, and anyone who has ever fallen in love. His name was Ashwani. He had caramel skin, brown eyes, shiny black hair, and a dimple when he smiled. Right then I knew that was the boy I liked and wanted to spend the rest of my life with. By the way, we were 9 years old. My very best friend Parvita was incredibly beautiful, a real showstopper. I was short and chubby with buck teeth. Get the picture? Ashwani was in love with Parvita. The way he looked at her made me wish just one time he would look at me that way. Didn't happen. At 11, we all graduated and went off to high school. Parvita and I attended the Kuwait Junior Secondary, while Ashwani went to an all-boys school. 3 years later, I lost my mother in a car accident. In my moments of pain and suffering, people came to pay their respects, and among them, the one I did not expect to see, Ashwani. In my heart, I felt he came just for me. In my days of mourning, I couldn't make myself eat and lost a lot of weight. This was a turning point in my life. I became a tomboy. Newly slim, I cut off my long hair and started wearing my brother's clothes. I was no longer the same girl. After graduating from high school, I would see Ashwani every day in college. We would exchange words from time to time, but we never spoke about feelings. At 16, I graduated from college and I left for the US without ever telling him goodbye or ever speaking up. I received a letter from Parvita saying she and Ashwani started dating. I said to myself, he is with the one he loves. 3 months later, I received another letter saying they broke up. There may be a chance of wedding bells in my future. At 20, I made my first visit back home to Trinidad. At this point, I had long hair, I was wearing girly clothes, and I was walking in high heels without tripping and falling. Walking through the village where Ashwani and Parvita lived, all my old friends started walking with me towards Ashwani's house. As everyone surrounded me, it was as though the crowd parted, like Moses parting the Red Sea. As I saw Ashwani walking towards me, he looked at me as though I was the most beautiful woman he had ever ever seen. That look I waited for 11 years. 2 days later, at the top of the Ferris wheel, Ashwani told me he liked me. Now we live happily ever after, right? Wrong. When I returned to the US with a splash of cold water, I learned that Ashwani was betrothed to another woman. I had no intentions of leaving her. I asked myself, was this a fairy tale or was this reality? I finally realized that the imagination of my first love was bound in the innocence of my youth. I was driven by the mirage of love. The mirage of love. The boy I thought I loved was a man I no longer knew. That's the point. I never really knew him. The moral to this story is that first love gives us a preview in building the passion to pursue everlasting love. So seize the opportunity in expressing your feelings to the one you love. Don't wait, because it may not be someone we're waiting for.